Hello and welcome to today's That's English.
Hi.
Well, you look very sporty, Ashley.
I've been playing tennis with my dad. He's come to stay for a few days.
How old's your dad?
He's 68, but he nearly beat me. And he only took up tennis when he retired. Se aficionó al tenis cuando se jubiló.
Lots of elderly people have active hobbies these days, like bowls or golf or gardening.
Well, when you retire, it's important to keep busy and try new things.
Yes, some pensioners do voluntary work, a computer course, or have a part-time job.
And some even go back to university or take up yoga, as we'll see in our documentary, which is all about elderly people. As you watch, try to answer this question. What can happen to a person who has just retired?
Let's see.
Once, these were the traditional images of pensioners. But things have changed. Thanks to improved healthcare and better diet, many pensioners today are still very healthy and have a very active lifestyle. Many want to stay fit and so continue and even take up sports in their retirement. A few even do extreme sports like skiing. But while pensioners are generally fitter than ever before, not everything about their lives is perfect. George Pearson retired 3 years ago.
Money can be a problem. In the UK, there are two types of pension, a state and a work pension. Not everybody has a work pension. Everybody receives a state pension, but it's not always enough to live on.
The number of people aged 65 and older still working has grown hugely in recent years.
Many pensioners don't stop working at 65, but continue with a full-time or at least a part-time job. And of course, some people don't want to retire at 65 because they enjoy their job.
Some pensioners who are still fit and wealthy choose to do voluntary work in places like charity shops, tourist information centres, and hospitals. Retirement advisor Paul McIntosh explains some of the challenges pensioners face when they stop working.
Sometimes a person who has just retired may have a sort of identity crisis. While people are working, they define themselves by the job that they do. For example, I'm a doctor or I'm a mechanic. But once this stops, they can lose that. They may also feel a little socially isolated, but voluntary work or semi-retirement can help with that lifestyle change.
An important consequence of people retiring fitter is that they are looking for new challenges. Some universities are open to students who have retired, while the University of the Third Age, commonly called the U3A, specialises in courses for the elderly.
Retirement gives you the chance to do things which, if you'd had the time, you would have done when you were younger. A lot of our U3A students follow language courses. Others learn how to play musical instruments, learn how to paint, or even just come out and enjoy the countryside.
The lesson seems very clear. If you don't plan your retirement well, you may have financial problems when you stop work. But if you can ensure that you have enough money to live off, there has never been a better time to be in your third age.
Well, that was really inspiring to see people enjoying their retirement.
Yes, though money can be a problem. The state pension isn't very generous.
No, that's true.
And money's not the only potential problem.
That's right. Did you get the answer to our question? What can happen to a person who has just retired?
Let's watch again.
Sometimes a person who has just retired may have a sort of identity crisis. While people are working, they define themselves by the job that they do. For example, I'm a doctor or I'm a mechanic. But once this stops, they can lose that.
So a person who has just retired may have an identity crisis.
Yes, because they have always defined themselves by their job. I think that happens especially if you've never had any interests apart from work.
That's right. So let's hear now how retired people enjoy themselves around the world. We asked this question: which are the most popular pastimes amongst retired and elderly people in your country?
I would say spending time with family, reunions with family, children, grandchildren.
Well, a lot of people like to play dominoes or play cards or just have a drink.
Bowls is very, very popular among the elderly in Australia, as well as going to the movies and chatting with friends, but bushwalks and walking along the beaches are very, very popular.
The thing nowadays seems to be playing golf. A lot of people are getting into golf nowadays.
I think South Africa is very much an outdoors life. It has a beautiful climate. So people spend a lot of time gardening, spend a lot of time swimming, a lot of time on the beaches.
I would say it could be anything like socializing in the mornings in parks or going to temples.
The most popular pastimes for the elderly, I'd say, would have to be gardening, and a lot of people belong to social clubs.
Well, most retired people seem to like being outdoors.
Yes, especially in Australia and South Africa, where the weather's better.
And they like getting together with friends and family now they have more time.
Yes, and being grandparents.
Well, in today's episode of That's Britain, we're going to visit a town called Torquay. It's an area which is known as the English Riviera.
You'll see many elderly people strolling along the promenade and sitting, enjoying the sunshine.
We'd like you to answer this question. What clubs for the elderly does Pat mention?
Hello. Today I'm in Torquay and we're 1 minute's walk from the sea. Let's go take a look. Torquay is one of a group of towns on the south coast, and together they are called the English Riviera. There are more than 20 beaches along its 22 miles of coastline, and they're some of the best and cleanest beaches in Britain. Thousands of people come here every summer for their holidays. I'm here with Alan and Donna. What is so nice about being in Torquay?
Oh, it's just a great place to live. It's when the weather's good, it's you've got the zoo to go to, lots of nice beaches, boat trips. Every day you can do something different and good.
This is Grand Hotel. Agatha Christie, the author of hundreds of murder mysteries, such as Murder on the Orient Express, spent her honeymoon here in 1914 and lived here for most of her life. This is Princess Pier, where Agatha used to go roller skating. And here's Princess Gardens, which feature in the novel The ABC Murders. There's been a long tradition in Britain of people moving to towns by the seaside when they get older and retire. I'm with Wilf and Pauline, who are having a nice stroll along the promenade. Why do you think people would like to retire in Torquay?
Always on this coast, it's nice and warm. I mean, it's a very pleasant area. People seem very friendly. And it's nice to walk across the front.
I'm with Jeff and Pat at the seafront. What does Torquay offer the older generation?
Well, as you can see, it's a mild climate. That means our heating bills are probably slightly less than they would be. And you can get from here to London quite quickly, either by train or bus.
Pat, can you tell me what Torquay offers you?
There are a lot of organisations in Torquay for elderly people, either run by the social services or by churches or by various organisations. There's a lot of lunch clubs. There are interest clubs for reading, writing, painting, sports clubs, sports facilities for the elderly.
So, Torquay seems to be a good place to be when you retire. Well, that's all for now. Next time we'll be in Poundbury in Dorset. So see you then.
Torquay looks lovely, especially in the sunshine.
Well, it's definitely a nice place to retire, if you can afford it. Everyone seems so content.
Yeah, that's true. So, did you answer the question? What clubs for the elderly does Pat mention?
Watch again.
There are interest clubs for reading, writing, painting, sports clubs, sports facilities for the elderly.
So, the answer is there are interest clubs for reading, writing, painting and sports clubs with facilities for the elderly.
There certainly is plenty to do for older people in Torquay. And by the way, it's interesting that the writer Agatha Christie lived most of her life there.
It doesn't look like a place where there are lots of murders.
No, but perhaps she was inspired while roller skating along the pier.
Well, that's the end of today's That's English programme. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.